What's up guys, welcome back to Toon Duelists. Today we show you our 6 Samurai deck profile post Rota, and I'm super excited to show this one to you guys. I can still remember when they came out 17 years ago, and I totally fell in love with the artwork of each and every 6 Samurai card. Around 2010, the 6 Samurai were really meta relevant, but now they're back at full power with great new cards we got in Rota. So without further ado, let's dive right into it. As always, we start things off with the monsters, and the first one we're talking about is Legendary 6 Samurai Kageki. Amazing card and definite 3-off in this deck, with a very powerful but simple effect, because when this card is normal summoned, you can special summon one level 4 or lower 6 Samurai monster from your hand. Great starter and extender, easy searchable, but of course this is one you always want to see in your starting hand, so definite 3-off. The next 3-off we run is Secret 6 Samurai Kizaru. Also amazing card, just got a reprint in Rarity Collection 3 Bonanza. And if you wonder why I only have one copy, well, I'm still opening my advent calendar and hoping to just pull the last 2 copies. If you want to see how this goes for another Toon Duelist, check out our channel, you can see the videos daily there. When this card is special summoned, you can add from your deck to your hand one 6 Samurai monster with a different attribute from every monster you control. Other once per turn. That's why Kageki and Kizaru, for example, work perfectly as combo pieces. Also, if exactly one 6 Samurai monster you control and no other cards would be destroyed by card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. So as all the Secret 6 Samurai, it has this protection effect. Very good card and definite 3-off. Next we talk about one of the new cards we got in Rota, which is Anarchist Monk of the 6 Samurai. Just amazing new support right here. If you control a 6 Samurai monster other than Anarchist Monk, you can just special summon this card from your hand. But you can only special summon it once per turn this way, which is already insane. Also, it's of course a level 3 tuner, which is just amazing, but it doesn't even stop there, because if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add a 6 Samurai quick play spell from your deck to your hand. So also a searcher, but it still doesn't stop.
Another one.
A monster that was synchro summoned using this card gains the effect that the level of all monsters your opponent controls are reduced by 1. Of course, this only applies to 6 Samurai monsters that are synchro summoned with it, but this effect is just nuts. It can mess up your opponent's whole game if they run an Xyz deck or a synchro deck. You have to play 3 of this guy. And of course, don't forget his little brother that also came to us in Rota, which is Tactical Trainer of the 6 Samurai. Also just amazing card, has the same special summon effect as Anarchist Monk, this time a level 2 tuner, which is also amazing. Also has an effect when it is sent from the field to the graveyard. This time you can add a 6 strike card from your deck or graveyard to your hand, which is also just crazy. And also a 6 Samurai monster that was synchro summoned using this card gains the effect that monsters your opponent control just lose 500 attack. Amazing card, definite 3-off of course. And next up is one of the most broken cards this deck has to offer, which is Legendary 6 Samurai Kizan. Just amazing card, very simple effect once again, but so powerful. Because if you control a 6 Samurai monster with a different name, you can just special summon this card from your hand. No once per turn, nothing. You can just spam this guy out again and again and again. This is just nuts, actually broken, and I just don't know how this is even allowed. Amazing card and definite 3-off for those reasons, of course. Next up, let's talk about something else that is broken about the 6 Samurai, and it starts with 2 copies of Legendary 6 Samurai Shinai. Well, actually, the 6 Samurai have one of the last infinite loops that are left in the game, and Shinai is part of it, because if you control Legendary 6 Samurai Mizuho, you can special summon this card from your hand. Not once per turn, which is important. And if this card on the field is tributed, you can target a 6 Samurai monster in your graveyard, except itself, and add it to your hand. This is just nuts if you think about the next card, which is its partner in crime, Legendary 6 Samurai Mizuho. And this card has the effect that if you control a Shinai, you can special summon this card from your hand. And also once per turn, you contribute another face-up 6 samurai monster, then target one card on the field and destroy that target. So what's the infinite loop about this? If you manage to get out 2 Shinai and 1 Mizuho on the field, you use Mizuho's effect, tribute 1 Shinai, destroy Mitsuho itself, both go to the grave, you activate Shinai's effect, add back Mizuho, and you can special summon Mizuho, of course, once again. And with Gateway, you can add back Shinai and special summon Shinai once again. And that's the infinite loop where you just gain infinite counters. Just crazy. Next up, let's talk about the other one-offs. First, we have Secret 6 Samurai Fuma. Level 1 tuner right here, with the effect that if this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon 1 6 samurai monster from your deck except itself. It's just a level 1 tuner, we need it for some combos, so that's why it's here and that's why we only need 1. Next up is 1 copy of Secret 6 Samurai Hatsume. And just like our Kizaru, this card got a reprint in the Rarity Collection Bonanza, which is very good because both of them were really expensive. And it has the effect that you can banish 2 6 samurai monsters from your graveyard and face up from your field, target a 6 samurai monster in your graveyard and special summon it. Of course, also has the typical Secret 6 Samurai effect in the grave, don't have to explain that one, but we want to search it, so 1 is of course enough. Let's talk about the leadership of the 6 samurai, and the first one we're talking about is Grandmaster of the 6 Samurai. Beautiful and powerful card with a very easy effect actually. You can only control 1 Grandmaster, that's also the reason we only run 1, also we can search it out pretty easy. And if you control a 6 Samurai monster, you can just special summon this guy from your hand. Just amazing extender right here. Also with level 5 and your Fuma, you can go into some great level 6 synchros, just amazing. And finally, 1 card I don't see that much in 6 samurai builds, but I keep holding on to because I just love it so much, which is Great Shogun Shien. I still think to this day this card is really amazing. It's searchable in the deck and has the great effect that if you control 2 or more face-up 6 samurai monsters, you can just special summon this card from your hand. But the second part is even better because your opponent can only activate 1 spell or trap card each turn. And of course we have some spell trap negates, so we basically with Shogun Shien and some synchro monsters we can lock our opponents out of spells and traps entirely, which is just nuts. And also it has the Shien protection effect, because if this card would be destroyed, you can destroy a face-up 6 samurai monster instead. Great card, I just really love it, but of course you want to search it out. That's why 1 is of course enough. And guys, we round up the monsters with some hand traps. Of course, 3 copies of Ash Blossom, don't have to explain that one. And of course we also run 3 Effect Veiler for the same reason. Great hand trap right here. And guys, that's it for the monsters. Alrighty, next we talk about the spells, and the first one we're talking about is Shien's Smoke Signal. Amazing card and searcher in this deck, because you can add 1 level 3 or lower 6 samurai monster from your deck to your hand, which is crazy good. Kageki, Anarchist Monk, Tactical Trainer, even the blue and red Infinite Loop parts, Shinai and Mizuho, can be searched that way. Great card, definite 3 of. Next up, we also run 2 copies of Cunning of the 6 Samurai. This is a really amazing card right here. A card that I didn't know was that versatile, because this quick spell has the effect that you can send 1 face-up 6 samurai monster you control to the graveyard, then target a 6 samurai monster in either player's graveyard and special summon that target. Let's say you're in your battle phase, you want to OTK, you can just send a monster that already attacked to the grave and bring the same monster back to attack once again. Or let's say you have a soft once per turn monster negate. I don't know, who could it be? If you use that monster negate already, you just tribute it, bring it back, and you have the monster negate back on the field. So many different ways you can use and abuse this card. Just amazing. And of course it's searchable, so you could also only run 1, but it is also part of your own combo, so running 2 is definitely a good idea. The perfect ratio in my opinion. Next, let's talk about the most broken card of this deck and the one you have to protect at all cost, which is Gateway of the 6. This card is really crazy. And understandable, it was limited, forbidden, now limited again, thank God, because this is the only reason this deck actually goes so crazy and has a great effect, because each time a 6 Samurai monster is normal or special summoned, you place 2 Bushido counters on this card. You can remove Bushido counters from your field, and this is already starting to go crazy. If you remove 2 counters, you can target a 6 Samurai Xian effect monster and let it gain 500 attack.
Boring!
If you remove 4 counters, you add a 6 Samurai monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand, and this is the one that's just nuts and lets you loop infinitely, basically. Just crazy what you can do with this card, actually. With all the not once per turns or soft once per turns we have in this deck, you can go really crazy with Gateway. Amazing card. And if you remove 6 counters, you can target a Xian effect monster in your graveyard and just special summon it. But actually you don't really use the 2 counter or 6 counter effect. You always want to get those 4 counters and just add special, add special, add special all the time. Crazy good card, but of course it's limited, so we can only run 1. The next card we run is Xian's Dojo. Also a card that can generate Bushido counters, which is actually important because you can't rely on Gateway itself. You need some other cards that generate Bushido counters, and this permanent spell does, because each time a 6 Samurai monster is normal or special summon, you place 1 Bushido counter on this card, and you can send this card to the graveyard and special summon 1 6 Samurai Xian effect monster from your main deck whose level is less than or equal to the number of Bushido counters on this card. For your combos, as I said, you need just more cards that are able to generate Bushido counters. This is one of them, and also our main route to get out a Big Shogun Xian, for example. So, great card, but we can search it, and we actually have a lot of draw power in this deck, so I think 1 is definitely enough. Works fine for me. The next card we run is 6 Strike Double Assault, also a new one we got in Rota. Really great and searchable with actually both our new tuners with Tactical Trainer and Anarchist Monk, and you can apply one of these effects, or if you control 2 or more 6 Samurai monsters, you can apply both effects in sequence. Special summon a 6 Samurai monster with 2000 or less attack from your hand or graveyard, and change 1 monster your opponent controls with 2000 or less attack face down defense position. The really important effect is of course the extending. Going second, the other one is neat of course, but not the reason we run this card. Also during your main phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard, target a 6 Samurai monster in your graveyard and add it back to your hand, which is actually not that bad. And of course, all of the 6 samurais are warriors, so of course you run 1 Rota. Don't have to explain that one. And that's already it with the spells. Guys, for the traps, it's really quick one right here. We run 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence, of course we do. One of the best hand traps in the game, and that's all the traps we need. That's it for the main deck. For the extra deck, we start things off with probably the most important card in the extra deck, and might also be the most important card in this deck, which is Battle Shogun of the 6 Samurai. And we always want to run 3 copies of this one. Just amazing good card. Link 2 only needs 2 warrior monsters, including a 6 samurai monster. And if it is link summoned, you can discard a card and add 1 card from your deck to your hand that has an effect that places Bushido counters. So it searches you Gateway, which is just nuts. Crazy good card right here. Also, each time a 6 samurai monster is normal or special summoned to a zone this card points to, you place a Bushido counter on this card. So it also lets you gain Bushido counters, so really great for all the combos we run, and it also gains 100 attack for each Bushido counter on your field. In some situations you just want to link away some other extra deck monsters, or you have to just, bring out another 6 samurai monster so your Gateway has enough counters again, and that's the reason we want to run 3. Next is also one of the new cards we got in Rota, which is Legendary Lord 6 Samurai Xian. Amazing and beautiful card. Level 6 Synchro monster needs a warrior tuner and 1 non-tuner 6 samurai monster. And if it is synchro summoned, you can add a 6 samurai monster or Xian effect monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand. First off, a searcher, which is always great. But it doesn't stop there, because this is the only effect that is hard once per turn about this. And the other effect is that once per turn, when your opponent activates a monster effect, quick effect, you can negate the activation and destroy that card. This is just crazy good. You can negate hand traps, you're nib proof with this one, and because it is a Xian, it also has its protection effect. Amazing card. That's also the reason we run 2, because if you manage to bring out 2, you have 2 of those amazing negates on the field. What else do you want? Next up, we run 1 copy of the classic legendary 6 samurai Xian. Another Xian version with the same protection effect, but also another great effect. This time it's a level 5 synchro monster, and once per turn when your opponent activates a spell or trap card, quick effect, you can negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. If you keep our big Shogun in mind, just crazy good card, very easy to go into with our new tuners. And for the final new card we got in Rota, we also run one Legendary Lord 6 Samurai Enishi. This level 6 synchro monster also has a pretty neat effect, because warrior monsters you control gain 500 attack and defense during the battle phase only. As a hard once per turn, if it is synchro summoned, banish any number of 6 samurai monsters from your graveyard and target that many monsters your opponent controls and bounce them back to the hand, which can actually be really useful for some protected cards. In our combo, we actually want to use the last effect, because if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can special summon one of your banished 6 samurai monsters, which is really great in some of our combos. Now let's talk about some other synchro options you want to maybe play. I personally play one FA Dawn Dragster as a level 7 synchro option. Now, of course, I know some say you don't need it and not everyone plays it. I just think it's a great option to have a level 7 synchro. Once per turn when your opponent activates a spell or trap card or effect, quick effect, you can reduce this card's level by 2, and if you do, negate the activation and destroy that card. So another spell trap negate, but it's also on effect activation, so it also works on spells and traps that are already on the field. So permanent spells or traps or field spells, which can actually be pretty useful right here. You can argue you could also go with a clear wing dragon, for example. But yeah, in my opinion, Dawn Dragster is a great level 7 synchro to run in this deck. Next up, as a level 8 option, we run one Psy Framelord Omega. What can I say about this guy? Also amazing card. During the main phase, as a quick effect, you can banish both this face-up card from the field and one random card from your opponent's hand face up until the next standby phase. So you just loop one card out of your opponent's hand. Of course, one is enough. And actually, I decided to go for a level 9 synchro also and included Trishula, Dragon of the Ice Barrier. Now, this is actually also easy to make. Of course, you need a tuner and 2 non-tuner monsters, but we run a lot of level 3 monsters. As I already said, we have a level 3 tuner, so that's your way into Trishula. And going second, this can be really powerful because, of course, when this card is synchro summoned, you can banish up to 1 card each from your opponent's hand, field, and graveyard. So yeah, just great to get some annoying cards out of the way. And yeah, a big fan of Trishula. Actually, it didn't come up that often until now, but yeah, still kind of holding on to it. Think it's a great option in this deck. But we do not only run a lot of level 3 monsters, we also run a lot of level 4 monsters, which is also the reason we run one Dai Gusto Emerald. I really like this one in the build because it also has a great effect, basically lets you draw for free, because once per turn you can detach an Xyz material from this card and target 3 monsters in your graveyard, shuffle all 3 into the deck, then draw 1 card. Why is this a 3 draw? Because basically you flood your graveyard with Kizans and whatever, and you won't miss them because you can search them with Gateway from the deck or the graveyard, so it doesn't really matter. So that's why it's basically a free draw. Great card, but one is of course enough. Talking about rank 4 extenders, we also run, of course, number 60 Dugaris the Timeless. Also very great card right here, easy to make. And of course the classic is skipping your draw phase and draw 2, discarding 1. If you need it in your combo, you can also use the second effect, skip your next main phase 1, special summon 1 monster from your graveyard in defense position. If it helps you to go like full combo and bring out all the negates you need, you won't be needing your main phase 1 anyway, or most of the time at least. Then for the link plays, we of course run one IP Masquerena, still amazing card. Quick link summon during your opponent's turn, what can I say? Amazing card. And of course, nowadays when there's IP somewhere, there's of course SP somewhere too. Also great card. Guess I don't have to explain that one. Just great interruption during your opponent's turn. Yeah, nice card. And the final monster in our extra deck is one copy of Saryuja Skuldred. Also amazing card in this deck, because this Link 4 monster gains effects based on the number of materials used for its Link summon. If you have 2 or more and the monster is normal or special summon to a zone this card points to, it gains 300 attack and defense. If you have 3 or more, once per turn during your main phase, you can special summon 1 monster from your hand, which is actually great extender for our combos right here. And if it's 4, when this card is Link summoned, you can draw 4 cards and place 3 from your hand to the bottom of your deck in any order, which is just crazy good. And yeah, you'll basically land on a Saryuja when your combo goes right every time. You have amazing draw power, you can extend with it, just special summon one of your searched 6 samurais that can't be special summoned by itself, which is actually pretty rare, but it happens. So yeah, great card right here. That's it for the extra deck. Guys, that's it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed. I know I made some tech choices in this deck that can be discussed, and I invite you to do so. Let me know what you would play differently. We're always happy to read your comments and discuss with you. This is one of the things that makes this game so great, that you of course can play the same deck but in totally different ways, and I'm always excited to hear about your tech choices and your experiences, so definitely share it with us in the comments. Really surprised me how this new support pushed this deck, just amazing. If you want to see how this deck performs, definitely check out our combo video with the link in the description. Would really appreciate it. And of course, if you like the content, don't forget to like and subscribe. This would really help us a lot. And until next time, have a good one.